start. Agenda review and disposition, Mr. Halloran?
I'm all set, Madam Chair. Yes, everything's on there, and I do need the non-public session for personnel and collective bargaining issue.
Okay, great, thank you. Anyone on the floor, welcome. What class is this? Civics class, great, welcome. Glad to have you guys. If you have any questions, let us know. Let's see, we have approval of the minutes from October 15th and the non-public minutes. Did anyone see any issues with those? Yes, Peter?
We might attend that.
Oh, and you're listed as attending?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll make that change. Okay, super. Thanks, Peter. Okay, student report. Did everyone get the student report? They passed out. Great. Okay, and so
That's why I'm sorry. They stopped.
I should have placed it in the
yes, with the change. I'll go back to that one. You're ready to go.
Alright, so in Student Senate, the standing committees are electronic devices, student life, and dress code. And the Student Senate would like to say thank you to the school board on behalf of the student body for the installment of free feminine product dispensers in all of the female bathrooms. For fall sports, cross country ended on October 26th after the state meet. The regular season ended on October 17th. Field hockey ended on October 18th. Boys soccer ended on October 30th after the first round of playoffs. Girls soccer ended on November 1st after the first round of playoffs. For golf, Zach and Marcus made it onto the second team All-State, and their regular season ended on October 2nd. Football is going to the quarterfinals game on Saturday at Pelham High School at 1 p.m. Volleyball plays in the semifinal round this Wednesday at Pinkerton Academy at 7 p.m. and there will be a fan bus available. For other school activities on October 31st to November 1st, there was the TSA conference. November 14th through 17th is the school production of Beauty and the Beast. Tickets can be purchased for $5 in the principal's office with Ms. Prescott. November 14th through 16th, it'll be playing at 7 p.m. and November 17th, there will be a show at 2 p.m. November 16th, NTHS sponsors the Holiday Craft Fair from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and all of the proceeds go to the senior scholarships. On November 19th, there's a free Thanksgiving dinner during lunch, and the sophomores from Newfound will be touring the CT Center. They'll be joining our students and eating D-Lunch. And then on November 20th, OSSP will be doing the raffle ticket drawing for their Adirondack chair, and the proceeds will benefit the OSSP Club.
Anyone have any questions? Super job, thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Madam Chair, I do want to note the passing of a longtime school board member, not only here but also in Campton, Sue Johnson, who served the Campton School Board from 1979 through 1988, and then was on the Penby Board from founding member in 1989 through 1997, and then came back from 06 to 08. And she was a force, all of you know. So she was a force. We're going to miss her very much. We saw her this past spring season for athletic events. But I will send something on behalf of the board to the family. We're currently going through our tax rate setting, and actually, it's gone quite well in terms of what the expectations were for our share of the local rates. And let me give you for instance, in Ashland, the expectations were that the rate would go up 64 cents a thousand because it was our first payment on the building, and actually allowing all of the state aid to go back to help with taxes. the tax is going to go up 48 cents. So that's in Plymouth, the expectation was 68 cents, and it'll be 45 cents. Plymouth would have been a little bit lower, but the actual net valuation of the entire community has gone down by about 2.1 million. And I don't, we don't have the answers to those kinds of questions, but that nobody was sort of expecting that. And the other tax rate that was in was Thornton, and Thornton's expectation was that the rate would go up 75 cents in Thornton, and it actually is down 11 cents, but that the impact is because of the revaluation in the community. So we'll match dollar for dollar at your budget committee meeting, so that'll give you a better sense of it. So those are the three tax rates that are in. We've gone through the audit process, and there will be some recommendations coming out. And let me tell you, with me leaving, and we knew that we would be tightening up some things along the way. But for instance, I'll give you for instance, we're tightening up the purchase order process, and also we'll be in the activity account for student funds. A couple of small things that popped up over time. When the classes leave us, they sometimes leave money behind, and the recommendation from the auditors will be once the graduation expenses clear 90 to 100 days, that a check be written to the class treasurer immediately after that and be sent off, so it's no longer staying here in the accounts in the high school. A lot of money can pile up at times in those activity accounts. The other example was we used to pay lump sum for scouting in sports. If a coach was going to scout, depending on the length of the trip, we had a formula which was $20, $25, $35. That now has to be either a mileage reimbursement at the IRS rate, or that money would be claimed as earned income. So we will be going to mileage, direct mileage. I think the district always won when we had flat fee, quite frankly. But so we will be. So those are the kinds of things that we're cleaning up. So we'll be getting our report soon. Big picture, there are no issues other than tightening up some of the day-to-day operations that we have. Also, we will be bringing some policies to Policy and Budget Committee at your committee hearing meeting later in the month, and that is about grant compliance and a couple of other things that are coming down. As you know, the state's being audited by the federal government, and so it all sort of flows downhill. So we will be passing some policies or presenting some policies for you to pass that are needed in order to continue to get grant money from the federal government. So.
Tell them about the commissioner's visit.
Yeah, and the commissioner will be joining us on, he was here and walked through the building, was very pleased by how everything was done, and he quickly moved in and out of the building and left. And he will be back on Monday, and I'll let Bruce describe the activity that he'll be participating in. So that's my report.
Okay, great. Now that we have a quorum, I just want to go back and approve the minutes of October 15th. Do I have a motion with the change of Peter not being there? Great, thank you, Phil. Seconded by, all those in favor? You got that, Barbara? All those in favor? Okay, opposed, abstaining? Great, all right, thank you. And principal's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Hazel did a tremendous job. We met, but she covered mostly everything, with the exception the first quarter ended the last week in October. So quarter one flew by, and I'll be mailing those report cards home November 8th to everybody. We start quarter two. I don't know if Ainsley mentioned our annual senior citizen luncheon that I do for our senior citizens around the district on Sunday the 17th. We'll be hosting it right here. We invite them also to the musical. It's a matinee. I think it starts at 2 o'clock, right, Janice? Am I right, Kim? So that's a big day for them. And as Mark said, the commission's coming back, it's sort of like, we've seen diners and drives and that sort of, he's on this theme of, now we're doing pies and dives or whatever, but we're cooking pies that we take orders for in culinary, and he got a big kick out of that. He's coming up to take part of that. So Pie Day, and it's not the Monday because it's Veterans Day, it'll be Tuesday. So I'll entertain him in the kitchen, see how long both of us can last together, but that'll be on the 12th. Other than that, Madam Chair, our student council rep did a wonderful job.
Yes, you did. Great. Okay, great, thank you. And our next committee progress report meetings, facilities policy and budget, program and staffing will be November 19th. And Mark, that'll be kind of the unveiling of round one of the budget. Is that what you said before? Okay, super. And then we have an SCC report.
Madam Chair, if I may, I have a new member that from Plymouth that I would like to recommend on behalf of myself and the superintendent, Ian Murphy, as a parent. So I will need a motion on that and acceptance on that.
All
Ian
right.
Murphy from Plymouth.
Make the motion, seconded by? Great, thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Super.
Thank you.
Okay, now review FY 21 budget process discussions.
Yes, Madam Chair. You'll be getting your budget on Tuesday, November 19th. We'll go to policy and budget. And from there, it'll go to the full board. And we'll do a presentation the night of the 19th. Then we'll have board meetings on Tuesday, December 3rd, and then another committee meeting on Tuesday, December 17th. But through that period of time, there potentially could be budget work sessions on December 12th, the 4th, December 2nd, the 4th, the 9th, or the 11th, depending on your reaction to the budget that we will be giving you on the 19th. So we try and get it down to so there's not a lot of sessions, but so we reserve those dates just in case they're needed. But we'll sort it out on the 19th.
Yes, Phil?
Do you have a target you're looking at, Mark?
No, not right now, Phil. Not right now. Very sensitive. I'd like to come in at zero, to be honest with you. I'm very sensitive to the tax rates, and the elementary schools also are banging against tax rates too. So it's a lot going on. There's a lot being downshifted to the locals. So the 2 years of aid has been very helpful. But when we're looking at it, we're not just looking at the aid, we're looking at sustainability of the budget. So, now it's for good economic times, it's tough budgeting times, to be honest with you, so. But we're gonna try and come in as best that we can. There are some costs that we can't control. I think the flow of special education between the elementaries to the high school, so. Those things we can control, we'll control. We definitely will not be filling a couple of teaching positions, so that'll help on the personnel side.
And our student enrollment, will that help, Mark, with this process?
I'm sorry?
The numbers of students in the building, will that help with this process?
Yes, it certainly does with the number of teachers that we need.
Okay, all right, super, thank you. Other business?
All set?
Board members have anything?
Could I just ask?
Yes, Bill.
You have an SAU hearing, meeting scheduled for this month?
It's going, there's one on, I think a week from Thursday, to just introduce the budget and take comments, and then the actual budget hearing, I think, is December 13th.
Week from this coming Thursday?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But we'll post that. The executive board's actually meeting tomorrow of the SAU, and then getting their blessing, we'll send the budget out.
That SAU meeting that was on the 12th, is that a Thursday?
14th.
Is it
Yeah.
Thursday?
Yeah.
December?
Oh, December.
Yeah, yeah. that just.
You say you're going to have one in,
It's going to be one in November.
The 14th.
There's 3 meetings. There's one tomorrow for the executive board, and there's one in November, probably a week from Thursday, I think. I have that calendar in front of me. And then in December will be the actual public hearing and vote on it. We'll also, that night in December, will be nominating a candidate for the assistant superintendency that'll be available.
Super. All right, no privilege of the floor, so we'll make a motion to go into non-public session, and I'd like to thank the students for joining us this evening. We love to have you.
Thank you.
Take care. A motion to make, yes, Maureen, second by Great Sam.